Hi, welcome back to From the Pearl Forest. This is Peggy, and this is another day of our challenge. Today is day 6, where we're going to be using a poster. We were going to use twirl paint, however, the twirl paint is in the service area. It isn't working. Here's my number 6 card with some flower see-through sticker and a 6 heart. So day 6 of hashtag Play Your Hand for August 2024. So the first thing we're going to do is our replacement for the twirl paint. So I thought, what could we do instead of twirl paint? Which hopefully we'll be able to do that again another day. So I have a tray here, and in my yard right now we have a lot of blackberries. So I thought, I wonder what blackberries might do. So if you have some ripe ones, you can kind of smush them out, maybe like how it might come out if you were doing the twirl paint. The paint kind of flies out. So this is a ripe one, and it doesn't look the color that'll dry, I'll already tell you, because I've tried one. Here's some that aren't ripe, which is really hard to get them to smush, sort of. You have to kind of break them a little bit. So that's pinkish looking, and this is a purple at this point. However, I think that the coloring in them actually makes it all the same color. So I would let this dry and then knock off any of the fruit so that it wouldn't dry on there. And, you can add, some more big smushes. We'll use this one for another day for some painted paper. We'll see how that gets. Clean this off. And we'll set this aside, and I'll show you what it is that I made, and I let it dry so we could use it. And it actually turns out blue. I think this was the lighter one, and then this is the darker. And I did take all the seeds off, but you can see where they might have sat, where it got a little extra dark. And because I rushed it, it ended up getting torn. But that's okay for what we're doing. If I was going to use it for a signature page, I'd want to handle them a lot more careful and probably dry them on a cookie sheet or something, or dry them in the pile with the hair dryer until it lifts itself off and I can set it aside. Otherwise, they tear. The other half of our project is, besides our poster, is spirograph. Now this is one of our spirograph sets that we have. My paint stuff over here. I think you can maybe see it. We'll try it out here. This is a deluxe set. Not sure if we're going to have room to work very easily. So we got some paper. It comes with all kinds of directions on how to make different designs, and it came with 3 colors of pens. When I went to use it, it did not all work again. Here's some that were made before that we might use some of these. Some of them did not come out as well, but that's okay because we might just use part of them, and they still make interesting designs. Here's some that I just made with the green pen. And here's some with that's all that I could get out of the red, and it died. And then also some blue. And sometimes when you slip, you can't finish because it won't go where you want it to, so it's better to just lift it up. So let's make one. So if you haven't seen this, you can see. I'll move it over so you can see better in a second, but we'll put our paper in here. We'll pick one of our circles. They have different numbers and can make, if you're making the different designs, it makes a difference. If you're just plain, it does not. I'm going to make 3 or 4 little balls of clay to stick on here. That'll help hold our thing in place. And then let's just grab, I don't know, a couple of the circles, and then let's see if we can move this out of the way enough that we can get this into the shot. And I did not grab the regular pen, but here's a green one. We'll try this. You can pick any hole you want. You can see that they start here and spiral out on this one. I think they all spiral in some way. But then you just pick a hole of your choice. If you're making a specific design, then you use that. And you want to just keep pressing the circle in the middle towards the outside ring circle so that your gears stay engaged. So as we go around, see it's doing the same design again, so that's not going to change. And now if we pick something maybe towards the middle of this one, and we'll see what it does. It just does an oval. Maybe we'll pick a different one and we'll see what it does. It does an oval in that direction. You never quite know what they're going to do unless you look at the book. So I'm going to pick another one near the outside of this. So you can, you can randomly, I'm going the wrong direction. Let's go this way, I guess. Okay, it finished that one. You can randomly pick what you'd want to do, and then you have your design. Which I have to say, it's not all that lovely, but we'll see what we can make out of it. So this is the deluxe set. I actually have one from years ago, I believe. I also have a little mini travel one. So we might try those another day. And then there's room for some pins. So let's put this down out of our way. And we have our various spirograph images to use, and we have our not twirl paint, but blackberry dye paper, which actually, not knowing how it would come out, it looks really nice with this poster. This is the poster we have for our project. It's one of those use it up projects. So what could I do with this poster? I could put it up, I could give it away, I could put it in a scrapbook, and I just chose to make journal cards out of it. This used to be one of our favorite places, is to have the I didn't even know what the poster had on it, but to go there and see the penguins. This reminds me of a challenge that we did one time we participated in, where people had penguin statues and they were able to decorate them, and then they were in the zoo for a while as part of the money raising for the penguin exhibit. Sorry, I couldn't think of what I wanted to say. I think I would like big cards for this, so I think I'm going to be reusing these. Let's see, 3, 4. These are a reusing of some collectible things that I had. So I think the first thing we'll do is we'll glue them onto the back of this. And then we'll decorate the front by adding the spirograph and dyed paper. And I'm happy that our dyed paper and our spirograph ink colors are going to coordinate nicely with this poster. And we'll see what we get on each. It's sort of like a master board because I'm just going to put these randomly on the back. Never mind the writing on the back. It has to do with the McDonald's collectible or whatever that I might have had. And I don't know whether I can get 5 journal cards this size on here. Don't think I can. If I went this way, maybe, we'll see. Maybe the other ones can go that way. So that's 2. Hope you don't mind my improvisational blackberry dyeing. It was sort of like finger painting with berries. Told my mother I was going to do it. She wasn't quite sure of that activity. Plus, she didn't want me to use her good berries to paint with. It's not going to fit. And I have so many blackberries in my yard that I really don't think we're going to miss the handful of berries that I used. Okay, so this poster by itself I don't think is sturdy enough, plus it is so curled. That's why I'm putting it onto another surface. That won't quite fit there. Okay, so instead, for our 5th card, instead of this, we could use a skinny one. We could use, oops, we could use some playing card. That just barely fits, but it does. So let's put a regular playing card on the end for our 5th card. Let's see. I think I'll put several on, then I can pick which one I want to use. If you do this challenge with me, 5 cards each day or each video that I do a day, when you're done, you'll have more than 150 journal cards to use in 1 or more journals. I want to share with friends. So that can be nice. I get a regular supply of them. Oops. The loose ones are not in there, but that's okay because I have more. I regularly get a supply from my mom's poker group. If they get damaged in any way, they don't want to play with them, so they pass them off. I know that somebody out there also uses them. Okay, so we actually have 7 cards to choose from. So let's cut them out. We don't know exactly what they're going to look like on the other side. I think I'm going to put my glasses back on. This white on white is a little harder to see for cutting. Maybe I'll go this way. Sometimes you can butt your scissor edge up to the card, but if you take a little off the card, that's no big deal. All works out in the end. Okay. Get this one out. Do you think any of you might comment in the comments that you might try dyeing paper with blackberries? I did not expect it to be so blue. It's almost like an indigo. It's very beautiful. All right, I got this poster on and it's wrinkled. I think I should have turned it over and rubbed it down right away. That's going to be kind of a problem. Sometimes you have to rub the other side to make sure it sticks. And we have a bubble. We have a little poster left there. You wouldn't probably automatically think of putting penguins with spirograph or blackberry dyed paper, but I really didn't know what the poster was going to look like. I knew it was from the zoo and there was a chance that it was penguins, but I really didn't know what it looked like because I had actually never taken it out of the plastic. It was from a promotional thing that we went to. One time we had penguin stuff everywhere, especially a whole bathroom. It was penguin decor. I guess we mostly had it in the bathroom and then some in one bedroom. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. When we're done, we'll put some newsprint on the back of these. To save time, I might do that later. These are quite large journal cards, so they would probably, well, it's really wrinkly. They would probably go in a page this way, on a page like this. They could be glued down on 3 sides and be a pocket, or, you know, if they were on this side, they could be a pocket here, or they could be glued on 3 sides and a pocket there. I suppose they could also be glued on 2 sides and be a tuck. Or it could be a big belly band, like this one from our desk calendar that I haven't put on anything yet. But if that was on for a belly band, then this could go in under the belly band as well. But as you see, in all of those instances, they need to be up and down this way. So that's what those will need to be. Whereas the playing cards could actually go either way into something. I find I'm not real good cutting these corners. Not good cutting corners. So I think I'm going to try this time using my We Are Memory Keepers corner rounder to put the corners back on the cards. Oops. So we'll have some extras. Plus we still have, whoops, I'm cutting part of the landslide and I'm cutting part of the playing card. But chances are no one's going to know that. Interesting fact, these playing cards, a standard deck of playing cards, is the same side as an artist's trading card, or ATC. So if you wanted to make some ATCs, you could make them out of a playing card. I think these naturally just have this smallest hole, our corner, so we can put that on there. I found I have this different corner rounder. I could give it a try. It's kind of tight. It makes a decorative corner. It's from Creative Memories. So that's an interesting edge that we could do. We also could round these more. We'll wait to round these because, oh, we didn't look at these. These have general writing. This has writing that I don't think I would want to leave. It's the Seattle Times sponsor. Okay, let's see. What do we have for spirographs? Well, we could fussy cat out our one that we made. Save that paper. And just play around. Maybe, I don't know if you can see all these. Maybe I need to put these down below. And we'll just put some on there and see what we think. I thought about it would be kind of fun to take the blackberries and dye over these papers that have the spirograph so that they're colored rather than just the white paper I used. How would you use these? What would you do? Would you even use a poster? I just like to use stuff rather than throw it away. And maybe somebody would have liked it. I don't know. I just needed it to move on somewhere else. Let's see. I made all these really randomly. I didn't follow the little designs in the book, but if you have a kit like that, you could, and then purposely make a design that you want and purposely use one or more colors of ink pen. And you could do it on other paper other than white if you wanted, maybe on coffee dyed paper or a colored paper or on a cardstock. Make your own little fussy cuts of spirograph doodles. So there's that one. This one. This looks like a flower. trying to keep these daily videos to half an hour, but I know that some of them have gone longer than that, and I apologize. Some of these things are just involved, and I could have cut all these out ahead of time, but I wanted you to see how you could do them on a page. But I could have cut some of them out, I suppose. Hindsight, that would have been a good idea. Sorry, my voice sounds a little gravelly today. We have a little bit of pollen in the air, plus we have a little bit of smoke, I think. Not too much, but a little. But I know it's a very high pollen day, and I have been out in the yard a little bit. Kind of like I call my garden collage, which if you're interested, I could show sometime. I make new soil in my garden bed by collaging shredded paper and shredded egg cartons. And today I chopped up some big green grass, thick ones in my yard, but I made sure to cut off the roots because I did not want the roots to be in my bed. And then there's compost, and let's see, I think I'll save that one. Then we have shredded paper, like recycled paper. Take this one. Sometimes I put twigs, especially in the bottom, or branches, any kind of leaves. In the fall, if I can get some fall leaves, I put those in there. Our compost has fruits and vegetables, and sometimes paper towels or coffee filters, coffee, tea bags that I don't get a hold of for art. Eggshells, banana peels, we have lots of those. All kinds of good stuff. Maybe something spoils, so something bigger is there than otherwise. And I just layer them in there and make sure that if I find any, especially red wiggler worms, if I find any worms out on the plastic that I took off of it, I'll pick them up and put them back into the layers, because they're my hard workers that help make my soil. So that's what I was out doing today. Let's see, are any of these good for cutting up? Not sure on that one. Maybe this red one here. Let's see, although some was made by a kid, sometimes even I slip when I'm doing it and the design shifts. But it's not all about perfection. It's about just making interesting designs and patterns. Anyway, my soil that I've made has grown all kinds of interesting things. I've had lots of avocados grow. I still have some of them growing in my house. I've had them for a couple years now. I have an almond tree growing in my yard. I have, I planted zucchini. I'm going to cut this over here because it has some things on it I don't want to show. And all my zucchini, they froze. It was too close to frost, even though it was after the frost date. But this year, it froze. And then I put some more out, and then those froze. So all the ones that I started early were dead. And, oops, then I had to try to think, what was I going to put on there? And next thing I know, I have a whole bunch of squash. I thought it was pumpkin because I'd put a big pumpkin in there to rot. And there was a big hunk of it when I put the compost, moved the compost over there from another compost pile. And so I thought it was pumpkin. And there was 11 plants that grew. So I thought, wow, I'm going to have 11 pumpkin plants. Wow, we're going to have a lot of pumpkins. And then they all died but one. But now it is so giant, it's taking up the whole bed and spreading out on the lawn and everywhere. And it has, I believe it's just one plant, but it has at least 30 squash growing and at least 30 squash blossoms still coming out, if not more than that. And I think that we've figured it out by looking at images that it's not pumpkin, that it might be spaghetti squash, but I don't really know. So it's our mystery squash. And I'm just kind of randomly going around the edge. Oops, cut that off. Thinking of some ones that can go on there. Here's another one. I thought I was kind of done, but I guess I have extra cards, but we'll just throw a bunch of spirograph out here. And then we'll get some of our blueberry paper. And we'll see if we want to add anything else. Got that one. And we have this one. I think that one's done. This one looks sort of like a snowflake or a flower. I'd love to hear comments on any of the journal card ideas or techniques that I've put out, because I'd love feedback to see what you think, whether you tried it, whether it looks like it would be fun. But even if you don't have a poster, you know, what do you have that you could cut up? Maybe just magazine page and cover the cards randomly and cut them out. Maybe you use playing cards or something smaller. I used big because I have such a big poster, but sorry about that. Maybe you don't have a spirograph, but maybe you make some doodles that are sort of reminiscent of a spirograph, or maybe you know someone who has a spirograph or has some kids that might have one, and you just go over and say, hey, can I play with your spirograph a little bit? I want to try some fun designs. And maybe as a group you can make a bunch of designs, and they might let you have some of theirs, and you go home and you'll have some spirograph designs to fussy cut and use. And if you don't have blackberries, you could try some other berry if you have it, or food. There's always coffee dyeing, but I'm sure blueberries or strawberries or raspberries or maybe even cantaloupe or watermelon. I don't know. I haven't tried those, but maybe they would make interesting designs. That's, speaking of interesting designs, that's an interesting design. Let's see, do we want more? What do we want to do with our paper? See if we tore off some kind of with our raggedy edge. And yeah, that's the raggedy edge. Tear off this white part. It doesn't have to be uniform, like that sticks out. That's perfectly fine. Add some interest. Just try to get it generally torn the way you want. That did not go in my garbage can. And generally what's useful for you. So let's see, make that a little straighter. Okay, so how do we want to use this? Well, if I'm making this big one, I don't mind if a little bit of the words show, but I don't really want all of it. So what about that, where we just have part of it show? So what if we put on some glue stick? Don't follow me right now, I'm not ready for you. And put this kind of in between. Am I in the shot? Here we have the writing, and we put it in between the writing so you can still see some of it, and this glue will wipe off, so that's fine. Here we have those. So it adds to the design. So we have a little bit of this plaid penguin coming through. And I think if some of these go off the edges, I think that would be nice. Let's see if we put this one down here. Now I could cut these out. I could try that on this one. Fold it a little bit and get a snip, then you can get your scissors in here. Just don't think I can get a nice even circle though. And I don't know if I want to distress it or not because we have the white on this penguin, but he does have a little yellow on his beak. So maybe, let's see how it looks without distressing. Oops, I didn't get all the way around. Needs a little bit more here. I think I'm going to leave it without on this one anyway. I think. So let's glue this one on. Maybe like right there. And I want to cut this one out. I guess if we're going to stay uniform, maybe we'll cut these out, but we might not on the other ones. So we cut our way in. We cut to the corners with our scissors. Wherever there's sort of a corner. Then we can go back and then easily snip this off. I love any constructive criticism as well so that I can improve my videos since I'm new at this. Like, is my voice volume good enough? Is my shot show you my stuff well enough? Am I in the way? I know probably some people would like me to rotate my camera, but currently on my desk I can't. But you might be able to rotate it while you're viewing it. But that's something, if people are interested, I might be able to do future ones rotated. Now we got a lot of glue here. Okay, this one I want to go off the edge some, maybe on both sides, so it anchors it. So I guess I need to cut this one out too. Didn't think about cutting the middle out of the spirograph designs. Don't know that I'm going to cut the other ones out. I think I'll go with them in, but you can see that there's two options. If you have a punch that would reach in here, you could punch. With scissors in the middle of something like this, it's really hard to get it round. Oh, whoops. It's going to scrape the crumbs off, but they weren't crumbs. they were glue stick. Okay. Put this one on. After we get this part done, we'll see if we want to add anything else. Let's see, maybe just put one of these little things just ever so much squeaking off the edge. So this one doesn't have a lot of our blackberry paper, but it does. It has this penguin pinking out, and it has 3 of our spirographs. Oops. I think we'll do a large rounded corner for this. So this is quite a large journal card with writing surface on the back. We'll see about whether we want to put anything additional on there. Okay, this one is mostly just blue. I think it would be fun to do this other penguin one. Whoops. That's too similar. We could use this one, I guess. So offset that red, kind of like they're playing with these. I think that would be fun. All right, what do we want to do with our blueberry paper? Wish I could get this out to the middle, but I cannot. Maybe just put a little bit in the corner. This part's torn. Let's see, if we stick this here sort of at an angle, and then we'll trim it off at the edge, and then we'll put this one on. I don't know about you, but I'm finding this to be fun. Something fun and different. Always amazed me how other people can just eyeball that and stick their glue on and come out so well. But I guess with some practice, it does work. And if you find this doesn't stick as well, you can come back and use some of the art glitter glue. So, hope you're liking day 6 of the challenge. Whoops, even though I had to improvise. I kind of like that one, even though it's very different. This glue stick, I think, is getting down there. It's starting to spit out pieces from a hole here. So this is sort of like they're playing in amongst this. I think, while this, whoops, still has glue on it, I'm going to trim this off and stick it on this one. Other than waste it. It's definitely time to be washing my desk again. There's some of that. A whole bunch of glue out here. There's an extra piece. Since this has a whole bunch of glue, see excuse me, see about putting this on the edge of this one. use up that piece. You get to take a little drink here. Okay, this needs a little glue. These need to be flattened out, but this, it does crinkle a bit. But this looks fun to me. Like the penguins are swimming in plain. Okay, let's see. Let's get some more of this blueberry paper. It's kind of a torn piece here. Not sure what all I'm going to put on this for covering it up, so maybe I'll put this one on here. I don't mind if a little bit of the words show, but at the same time, I kind of don't want them to be red, because it doesn't really have to do with what we're doing. There's a piece. Here's a very colorful, sort of scribbly one, but interesting nonetheless. Okay, I think I'll kind of put that in the corner here. Maybe sorry for the itchy nose too. Maybe we could put some kind of picture on there. We'll look at that in a minute. Let's see this one. How many do we have? We had 7, so we don't have to do all of them. We have 3 done so far. Maybe I'm gonna skip this one, and I might take some of its pieces and maybe skip that one, and then we'll have enough with these. What if we put a piece of this, down the middle? And we'll tie it in. These will make really nice signature pages if I can get them to not tear. So I'll skip the white edge down here. Glue that on. I will put these under something to get them to be not quite so curvy. We'll just use this one to be the leftover scraps. Sometimes the leftovers are the most interesting. Okay, so I kind of like this 2-colored one, this blue one, and maybe keep it more kind of cool colors, blue greens. Put that there. Get some more of our glue off the table. Make use of it. I think we might be getting down low enough on this that it's cracking. Put that there. This in the middle somewhere. I don't know about you, but I kind of like these spirographs on here. It's fun to see what I can come across in my house and what to do with it. I think that we'll leave that and add something more to it. I can reach some of my other flowers or birds because I have other ones that would be good. We could just make this one all blues, red, white, and blue for the most part. Here's some more of the blueberry, oh, not blueberry, it looks like blueberries though, doesn't it? Blackberry paper. Maybe put a piece out here in the middle. Mostly covering that up. And that piece is up a little bit. We have this big one. We have this one, but this is kind of airy. That might be nice, and maybe I think though that we need to do something with that. I wonder if I have a blue one. Here's a blue one. We could put this one out in the center. I think this is blue. Doesn't look green, so it has to be blue because that's really all I had to work with. These red ones are back when the red pen worked. But you can use any pens. You don't have to use the ones that would come with the spirograph. I have a little travel one that's fun. We can try sometime. It holds standard, I think, size Post-it notes, and then has a little drawer with the pieces. And I used to take it for kids to use to play with. Okay. Even though I'm not doing the center of those, I'm gonna do the center of this one because it's so much white. I actually have a really small twirl of paint. I'm not sure if it's a paint. It's almost the size of this. And it might be a twirl, use markers and, you know, draw with the markers as it twirls. But I couldn't put my hand on that either. But eventually all these things will end up in my art studio office, and they'll be available to play with. I think I'm going to try some echo prints with the blackberry leaves because we have way too many blackberries. And why not put them to a good use, especially if it involves art. I'm all for that. Okay, so this one I need to put in the center. Kind of want to cover up all that orange. So I think like that. I guess if there's like a little orange, I can live with that. But let's see, I could put this here. I could even go over just a tad more. Overlap that one. Part of the problem is I'm going over the crack in the table. So I'll put this one there, and over this edge, and this ring one. And I'll try some of these another time with some distressing. I just didn't want to use them today that way. So much glue. So let's get the circle hole all the way on the journal card. And where's our extra journal card? Let's put on this part that we cut off. Actually, that might just be fun to just stick that on like that. Put this on. But no, we're not finishing this one. We might as well save these pieces. And then we have some other ones to use. Okay, and we round the corners. It's kind of hard to do this when it's still wet. Sometimes they, like this one, don't cut completely. Okay. Put the lid on our glue and scissors stay. Let's take a look at what we got. So we got 2 small ones. Oh, this needed something additional. That one. Maybe this one. With the circle and the hole cut out. It's more solid of a design than the other one, so I think it kind of balances that one. Could even come back and do some stamping or how about some washi tape on some of these? That would be good too. Not real round, but I'm not sure that the design is real round because this is kind of a accident one. Or as Bob Ross would say, it's a happy accident because we can do something with it. He was such a pleasant, calm, gentle person. I miss him. Okay, so if we put this up here, cut off some more pieces that can go on this. This is the one with the fancy edges. Or corners, I mean. Oops, my finger was stickier than the back. And maybe this doesn't have any more spirograph than what I'm putting on it. Maybe it just puts something big, fussy cut over the top. It doesn't want to stick. Something that would bring it all together and finish covering up that advertisement. So that's on its way to something. And we have this one. So we have these 3. And then we have these 2. We could put them down here. Let's round this one also. We'll make it big also. It's nice to have some big journal cards. You got a lot more room to write. Plus, they can go with a nice big belly band. Okay, so then we have these 2. And what do we want to put with them? Let's see what I have up here on my desk as far as little things to put on. Oops, I have some clusters. Whoa, I got a desk avalanche trying to happen here. You try to put just a few things on your desk. Then you add just a few more. And a few more. And next thing you know, you have way too many. Okay, I have some of these punched out. But I don't think these really go with this. All the red, white, and blue colors can go with that. These are some flowers, but they're rectangles, which I don't think go. This has a little owl. These kind of colors sort of go if we cut the green off. These dishes, these containers, they do have the hinge, but I think the lid comes off. Hopefully I'm not breaking it. I don't know. They're hard to get into them. These little jars. Enjoy life. Some garden tools. Pink birds. I don't think those go. Here's a little cardinal. That might be fun. I think the sun is what I needed on something I made yesterday. I thought it needed a sun up there. Here's a star. Could go in the middle of that. Color-wise, I like that. Okay, kind of red, white, and blue, but could be something else. Some tickets, but we don't need anything that big. Shiny stickers, I don't think they go. These colored birds don't match. Pink doesn't really go with it. I think this container is not an easy one to access. I think I need to do something different. There's a little bird. There's that bird. Whoops, that's a jar. Where did the bird go? Thought I had a bird. I thought I had a bird in hand. Sort of pink, but dark enough that it looks kind of red. Here's some umbrellas. Nice if we had like little fish or bubbles or something that would go in the water. I don't think I have anything there. Not in there. I do have some stickers up here. Maybe I have some splashes. One with the penguin swimming might be fun. There's an arc, but I don't think that bicycle doesn't really go. Color-wise, it look nice. Some insects and clowns. A towel. Doesn't really go either. Some hearts. How do you store your stuff, like stickers and things like that you can actually dig through and look at them easily? I sometimes feel like mine are not in such a way that they're easy. This big bag here, some of them are going one way and some are going another way. Yeah, I don't think that there's any more in there. We do have some blue leaves that could float through the water, but I'm not sure that I like that idea. So I didn't find any splashes. Would we like a bird nested in center of that? Would we like pink one? Would we like a bird in this bubble? Just a bird down here. That kind of looks nice. Well, maybe for like the ocean, you could have like jars floating in the ocean. It says life. We have an owl that fits. We have some bowls. We have this red cardinal, which could go up there. We have an umbrella. I kind of like the umbrella because the whole thing sort of is like water, and it's sort of like it's bubbling down and splatters and through here, and so I just kind of like the umbrella on that one. This one, could make the design, oops, add to the design by going that way. I kind of like that. Hi, Snickerdoodle. It's my dog. He's come to say hi, and Mom, when are you gonna get me some dinner? Right after my video. So, our jar in here. I feel like we need something up there, but I'm not sure what. Could be like a bird floating up there. Kind of think that balances, even though it's a different bird. Colors look good, and it is a bird, and maybe this is his nest. So we could leave that one like that. This one, we'll put this bird down here, partly overlapping this. I feel like we need something. These are a little jagged, something maybe there. No, do we like the cardinal there? What if I put the cardinal here and use my hole punch? Or not hole punch, my circle punch. And punch out the cardinal. Getting back off the backing here. There we go. We want it in this one, which is a little more raggedy, or in there. I think this one is raggedy enough, plus it brings the red down here. Oops, get it in the right spot though, Peggy. That's kind of cool. And then maybe later we can put something up there. I don't really want to, he's kind of hidden, but I don't want to lose the penguin's face. I think I'm going to put these stars, but I'm going to cut most of the gold off. There's just a little bit of trim. And then they take on more of the star shape. So we can put that there, maybe, or up at the top. Put this here. These probably came off address labels that one of my relatives had. We cut the picture part off of the address part. And they had too many from people, solicitors who had sent them. So you can always cut those little pictures off. They make nice little spots of design. Okay, this is figure out how to get this off. I wonder if, yeah, I went to the work of doing that with the gold, but actually the sticker is inside. Some of these are so hard to get a hold of. At least that part of the gold came off, so I don't think that the star actually comes off. I don't think these are real old. I don't know why they're being quite so stubborn. Just get a hold of one part of it, it would lift up. If you think they're not going to come off, then you can just leave the back on and glue it on, but it could come off later. This one, I think, lost part of its arm. Maybe it's like a starfish, and we'll grow it back. Just kind of bent under. I think that this is going to take art glitter glue though. Making a mess on my table. Now it's a lot smaller. Put these off to the side. Usually you want something in threes. But this is going to just have 2 and 2. Yeah, it just doesn't want to come off. Not sure why not. But we'll just trim it. Sorry, this is taking a lot longer. I know we're using 2 different techniques, but then also we've had to fussy cut a bunch. Okay, let's unpeel the fingers. Get out the art glitter glue. If this lifts up, we'll just glue it back down again. Glue the sticker back onto the back. There's more than one way to skin a sticker, so to speak. Okay, so there's that one. And this one, what if I punch this eagle out with this circle? these over here. Yeah. Probably somewhere I have penguin stickers too. Oh, these backs are being stubborn today. I know that this is a back that needs to come off. Sometimes, crash, where's my pin? Sorry for all this. Here's the pin. Sometimes the pin will, I'm going to do it on the eagle side, will lift this up. To get it started. It's only partly peeling. That's funny. Well, maybe this one is really, really old too. Some of these I inherited from my dad and my grandmother, and they've been gone for 20 years, so I'm sure they're much older than that. Okay, and then I think some kind of like label or something down there, just putting the pin, or it was tempting to put the pin back in here, tempting to put the glue back on, and the extra stickers back in the box. I always hope they don't go on the floor, because along with my garbage then. Okay, so I think we'll stop with this for today. And like I said, always when we go to put them in a journal, add something else. So this is #PlayYourHand, day number 6, which was a poster and with penguins from the zoo. And then we had our blueberry dyed papers. And I really think this one was pink and this one was purple, but when they dried, they both dried in a deep blue. So I'm going to turn these so you can see them more, the direction here. So that's one big journal card, complete with wrinkles. Here's a big one with some penguins and some floating garbage and a bird in a nest. It says life. And here's another one with a secret hidden penguin and some birds. And here is a little one with some stars, stripes. And here's one with an eagle. So that's day 6 of #PlayYourHand, where we made 5 journal cards with blackberry dye, spirograph, and an assortment of cards. Day 6. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 7. Bye. This is Peggy from the Pearl Forest. Check me out on Ko-fi also. Sugar cookies are heading over there before long for a freebie. There's already cupcakes from last month, so you can come get some cupcakes. They never go stale. You can download them for free and print them out and enjoy them in your journals. Thank you. Bye.